Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into a LEGO Icons 2024 set review. Today we are looking at the Medieval Town Square. This is set number 10332. It has 3,304 pieces and is retailing for $229.99 USD or $299.99 Canadian. This was sent to me early by LEGO and Land to do a review for, and will be available beginning on March the 1st if you are a LEGO Insider or VIP member, or March 4th if you don't want to sign up for that free program. But I'm very excited to look at this set. There are a lot of cool figures and a couple interesting animals. Specifically, the goat is the biggest draw here. And this is supposed to be a spiritual successor to the 2009 set, the Medieval Marketplace. And there's just a ton of stuff in the interiors, a couple references to a bunch of different themes and sets, and hidden little spots and details and play features that I'm so excited to take a closer look at. So let's go through this thing. All right, so here's everything built up, and this is literally taking up, like, I can't zoom out any further here on my table. It's about to fall off my stand. It is quite a large build when you actually have this thing set up, which I think I'm honestly the most surprised by. Like, this as well is very deep. You can't see everything here, but it's actually propped up against the back wall. So overall, the size of this, I think I'm most surprised by, and the build was a lot of fun to do. I just love these medieval themes and sets and different things. I think that just from the response that the reveal got, I think that there's a lot of people excited to get another modern set, and having it be sort of, you know, nostalgic with like that original tree from the 2009 set, and just sort of having inns and different shops and things like that original medieval market set is pretty fun, and I think that that's going to interest a lot of people. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's take a look at each of the buildings, and there's so many side builds that I didn't realize. There's actually a lot of side builds to actually go through and talk about here. They can all sort of, some of them can go into the different shops, but sometimes when you're building it, and specifically some of the pictures, have them just loose around your village to just spruce things up a bit. So let's go through these. Man, I feel like I'm going through an advent calendar here, but you've got an axe included here, as well as this log, which is on this stand for you to cut into different pieces so that you can fuel your different furnaces and stoves and ovens all throughout the set. These two side builds actually go together. You could see here we've got this little planning bench here with some blueprints to build this chair here that you see, which is supposed to go with the carpenter and the woodworking shop. You've also got a wood log underneath the table, which has this print if you've never seen that before. We have this small little weapon rack here. It's also got a candle as well as a cup. And then you've got here an envelope with this sticker that has a lion on it. That's what that at least looks like to me. That same lion appearing here on this shield, which is meant to be for, of course, the shield decorator. And you can see we've got a blank shield here as well. You had a couple of them throughout the set, but I do like the stand here, how it's on these three legs, and obviously that shield is just so cool. I personally would have liked to see a shield maybe halfway through its design. Would have been really cool to see. We've also got this device here for the woodworking shop here. It spins, it turns. I'm not a carpenter. Couldn't tell you what this is. Here is this little carriage, not being pulled by anything. Definitely think that it needs to have been pulled by something, and we'll talk about that at the end. But you do have a pitchfork here included, and nothing here on the other side. But you do have a barrel that you are carrying, and I think it's meant to be a replacement barrel of alcohol, because you can see all of these transparent yellow studs are meant to represent beer, probably for the tap that you saw in the inn. You could see here that you've also got some hay, as well as these wheels, and what you could do is you could pretend, hey, you know, the wheel popped off, you need to go get a replacement from the workshop, and then even these planks you could remove and then go use some of the replacement wood that you have from the carpenter shop as well. And here is this cheese stand, and it's so cool. I love like the round pieces of cheese. You've also got a couple of other bakery items being sold here with the pretzel, the croissant, as well as just more variants of cheese all throughout this. You've got a block there. This is so cool. I love cheese. I love pastries and pretzels and different things. So this is one of my favorite bits here. But by far the coolest and best build is this here. This incredible tapestry that's being worked on. It's so darn cool, this sticker. I'm going to remove this piece here, just lower it so you could see the full detail. It's amazing. I love the yellow castle here and just like the little crown details there. But then they've got this original classic jousting set there with like original horse designs being represented there. I love the little knights on the towers. Like they really did such a good job making this into this gorgeous tapestry. You could see how it's still being woven there down below, and you can just sort of raise and lower this piece there as well. But this whole build is just so intricate. It looks amazing. And here is this tree with a little bit of water here, which is honestly, this whole thing is probably the thing that's most similar to that original 2009 set, having this tree that you could put in the center of the build. But I do like how they've done some of the leaves and different things, like looking at it here from the top. It's quite a full tree with a bunch of different leaves. I think maybe they could have chosen some more colors there for the different leaves just to add to some texture, thrown some dark green in there. But taking a closer look, I want to draw your attention to these 1x2 tiles. You've got a goat for sale, and you can see that the price has been slashed. Some people have been pointing out that that is a reference to the fact that the goat is no longer as valuable as it used to be. Lego doing that, including it here in this set, the minifigure series and so on, and that's why the price has come down. You've also got a bounty there for the Wolfpack Crook, as the set has called it. You've got a mushroom there, and I like the little pattern that you've got for the grass. See, some dark green in there adds to the color. You have this nice little flower here in the water, as well as some transparent plates to add to the water effect, and a frog. You've got some brown mushrooms over there. And then here, I didn't realize that there was this reference here, but you've got a Beware, a dragon there with being ridden by a bat lord, which is super, super cool to see, especially given that we got a bat lord here in the latest CMF series where the goat also appears. So perfect. I love that 2x3 tile. So here is this first building that we're going to look at, and it actually is 3 different sections, and they all have like its own respective shop on the inside, and you could actually open it up and sort of angle it to sort of make it feel a little bit bigger here, which I think when it comes to this actual build, I don't know if it really works as well as the next one that you're going to see in terms of splitting it apart. They do feel like 3 individual shops, but to me, the minute that you look at it from the side, it doesn't look that good. And I'll spin the whole thing around just to show you here from the back. Like, this is, I don't know, it's an interesting concept, but you've got all of these large entrances and gaps that really should be filled out. If this was an actual house, they wouldn't have a whole wall missing on the side of it. Maybe this little workshop that you can come and go in, but these rooms that people would live in, it wouldn't work. And when it comes to this section as well, you can actually remove the roofs for these 2 sections here. This is completely attached. You cannot remove it, but this whole floor for this part is actually removable here if you just do that. So you do get access to a lot, like you could play around, place different things from inside, from above, but not this section. All right, going through and looking at the exterior here, starting on this corner of this build, you've got this really cool roof. I think it looks amazing. This is probably one of my favorite builds here, just how they have built this arch above this little window bit. I think that is just so smart how they've done that, how they've executed that, and it looks really, really great. They've taken the design for the roof with all of these tooth and claw pieces and different things you'll see throughout the set, but they've added these little smaller slope pieces all throughout this, which just gives it a bit of different texture to it, which I think looks great. And you'll see that in comparison to like the rest of the roofs, that stuff needs to be what this looks like. I think that just looks so nice from afar. You've also got this chimney stack here with a little bit of smoke coming out. And then coming down here to like the farm section, you've got a water bucket, a pumpkin farm, some honey with a little bee print there. And then you've got some different vegetables being grown here too. Same here in the barrel. Included is a knife for some reason, which I think is kind of interesting. And coming over here to this side, you can see there's some flowers being pollinated by this bee, as well as some flowers that are growing on the side here of the building. And you could see there just how far the chimney goes from down below. By the way, I really love just the aesthetic of this whole house. Just looking at these dark red windows with the ingots for the shutters look great. And the entranceway is really nice too. I love this 4-wide door there that is on the hinge that can open up. And all the cobblestone for each of the entrances, well, most of the entrances to the houses, I think look great. Just how they've done that, the pattern that's created is really nice. And taking a look at the inside here of the shop, you've got this really cool wall there with a bunch of spools of yarn, as well as a piece of yarn on the floor. You've got some chopsticks there, which I guess are supposed to be sewing needles. And if you want, you could take the different side builds from the set, like the tapestry there, and actually attach it to the studs on the floor. I really love the pattern that they've created there. And it's a little tough to see, but there are some flames in the stove, as well as you've got the pan, a candle on the wall, and a fork there on the floor almost for some reason. All right, so here's the Carpenter's Workshop here from the front. I love these little torches that they've got out in the front, as well as, again, the cobblestone leading into the entranceway. You've also got a really cool sticker there on that 2x2 tile. Most of the shops all have a little symbol like that on the front, which looks nice. You can see we've got a key in the door, and what that allows you to do is if you turn it, you could also then pull the door closed depending on which way the key is actually facing. If you face it the correct way, it will actually unlock, which if you didn't know, you could do that with the keys, which I think is such a cool design on Lego's part. Anyways, opening it on up. All right, so walking through the door, it's pretty bare, but again, you've got all of those different, different blueprints and plans that you could put inside here. The chair, if you want to have that inside. You want to put the weapon rack. You just won't be able to detach it as easily because it's not on studs. There's quite a lot that you could do to fill out the interior here with all of those side builds. Now, when you remove that, I just want to bring your attention over here to this side. You do have a blank, just regular shield here, wooden shield, as well as a bow and arrow. And then coming back here, you've got some mushrooms, a tree, a barrel with a quiver on it, and some flowers. And then this canopy, which is really nice. I like the shaping of this. I don't know why they have some dark blue bits inside there, but the shaping of that and how this, like the arm is actually attached to that, looks really nice. Going a floor up, it's probably easier if I show you it from here. This gear is actually able to control lifting this up and down, and then this is actually a lock. What that allows you to do is when it's unlocked, you can pull and lower the rope and do whatever you want and raise it a bunch of different ways. And I'm just going to remove the roof so that you could see inside here. You've got this spare tire that has come loose. It just sits there in the little corner. All right, so pouring out everything, you could see all the extra pieces that you've got there, including that wheel, and that they're just stored in those two barrels in the back there. Now, again, how does that function work with the gears and all that? Well, and what this piece does is it's actually a lock. So when you lock it, it will not allow you to spin the gear a certain way. You can unravel it, but you cannot turn it the opposite way, which I think is really interesting. And then what does the other little clip do? Well, that is actually a lock for this. It's a ladder that can be unraveled for you to gain access to the top part of the shop from down below. And you just fold the ladder back on up, and then the lock, you have to actually make sure that it is locked. And then to put it back up, you can just push the ladder up and it should actually stay on its own, but you could also make sure by pushing it a certain way there to actually lock it in place so that it won't open. And here is the cheese factory, and you could see here that just the design of this looks really cozy. I like the door design that you could actually open up. And then, of course, you've got there on the outside this little banner, which looks so nice. It's got this cheese wheel there with some knives, which looks great, representing this bakery, because there's other pastries and different things being made here. But you've got some flowers on the windowsill there, and then coming around, you've got this really cute little pen, which the door can open up, and then you've got this fenced-in area. Again, some more bees there actually collecting pollen to make the honey. And again, the cobblestone there, the actual masonry bricks down below looks great. I love the design for this from the side. Looks so cool. And then coming over here to the back, there's no other animals, unfortunately, but it's a perfect height here. The water trough for that. You've got a little squirrel friend, I guess, so the goat is not completely alone. But yeah, you've got, again, some more fence posts. I like the use of the carrot top pieces there for a little bit of, I guess, detail for the fence. I would maybe angle these just a little bit to make it look like it's almost connected. You do have this little tree here in dark green and some mushrooms down below there as well. But yeah, this feels very empty for you just having one goat. But I do like, again, this little window. You do have this small gate that can open up, letting you go onto the inside. Again, the roof is very easy to detach. But looking at the roof here on its own, I think it looks good in terms of the shaping of it. Like this, again, having the log piece there. I like the chimney with the smoke coming out, but this under bit there looks great too. I wish this was more detailed. I really do. Anyways, coming here onto the inside, you'll notice that you've got this extra chair here, which I feel like is from the Carpenter's Workshop. Like, it's a very similar design, and how it is sitting there almost against the wall, but just not quite touching it. That would actually be the exact same thing that would happen if you took the other chair and put it there too. So I think that's kind of interesting. You do have a little kitten drinking some milk out of that barrel. Just going to detach the whole archway so you can get access here to everything. You've got a knife on the wall there. You've got a knife there. You've got the stove going, which inside of this cauldron piece is some milk, as well as inside of this pot here, if it cooperates, you've got some cheese being made there too. So yeah, obviously this is the cheese factory. You've got a ton of different cheese types there. You've got a candle, you've got a spoon. I love as well that the floor is just such a cool design with having these different, the triangle pieces, some other pieces there with the round bits showing a little bit of green coming through. Looks great. And then you've also got this little shelf up there with a cup and some more cheese. All right, so here's probably my favorite section. I think I really love just the different angles of the buildings that you've got going on here with the inn, as well as this lookout watchtower. Looks really great, and just all the rock work here too is amazing. I also like the fact that if you open this up, it does feel like this is like two buildings here side by side that just work well. And I think that just the fact that there isn't this long building in the center, I think would have worked better for that other section. Like this, to me, when you open it, it feels like two different buildings, which is what they're going for. But even when you close it on up, I think that it still feels really complete, except for one bit here, right there. That gap there just does not make any sense. How you could see a little bit into the inn's room up above with this watchtower wall. Like, I'm not sure why the wall just doesn't come up all the way so that it is actually a little bit more complete and makes it feel full when you have it open. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's go through this. I love the inn, and this is called the Broken Axes Inn. That's officially what the description calls it. So you've got these two ends of a broken axe. Love the classic helmet there being used for the top part there. Looks great. These torches as well are great. I love the slopes. The design of this bottom part is amazing there with just the cobblestone. Like, this looks so cool. I love the flowers and just the angles here that they've got. You've even got this really cool sign there with the fork and the knife on that little banner, which is the same on the other side there. And I just love the use of the handcuff piece there for like a little bit more detailing. It looks great, and it just continues on over here to the side. When you look at the rest of the inn, you've got all these windows that can technically open up, and I just love the design there with the dark tan and the olive green. Looks amazing. You've got these stickers here on this windowsill. I love the windowsills here too with these detailed little pieces underneath. Look great. And here, this is a bakery. You could see how this is also with the pie on the outside of the windowsill. You know, wafting out the smells to lure people inside to come in and eat, which is really, really great. I like the chimney there as well with the smoke coming out, which could also bring in some more people. But this part here is a modular. This top part is actually removable, and the rest of this though, it's one piece. You cannot remove it. It is not a modular system. That's it. This little bit here for the roof, which looks great, by the way. I love this design so much better than the other ones there. You could see as well that same design carried over here, and then that continues on over here onto the back side too. You could see from the other side the key that I was talking about before. So yeah, the door completely opens on up and you can get access to the inside there. You've got a chessboard, which is a printed piece there. And I like those two chess pieces being used there, those just statues. You can see there's two candles there as well. And you could see sitting on the seat there was this lute for you to play and entertain guests here. And then, of course, that means that you could put a figure there on the booth and have them sitting inside. I like the table design. The floor is an interesting detail here as well. It's all individually tiled. And then you've got all of these dark orange plates for them to stand on. You've got this tap here, which you can actually remove the barrel and then remove the whole canister lid, and you can see on the inside there's nothing. They've run dry, which is what you need the carriage for. In the back, you've got this silver mug. And here's the kitchen area, and you've got all these logs there to put into the stove. You've got a candle, some pots and pans there as well. And then here is the stove, and you can actually open it on up and gain access to the inside. You can see you've got a bunch of different ingredients up there on the shelves up at the top, as well as you've got a baguette, some different, greens to put into the food and seasoning and different things. You've got a crab. You've got a bag of flour, a bunch of different knives, a white fork, which I don't think I've ever had, a turkey hung up there, and you've also got a fish in the back there. Now, this is interesting. The set actually has you put the barrel right here, according to the instructions. But watch this. When you close it, you hear that? Hear what just happened? Well, this knocks over the bucket. So you have to move the bucket. It's very simple to do. The instructions are wrong when it comes to that. Just need to point that out. And here's the one room inside of the inn. You could see this one bed, really detailed. Love that a lot. You've got this piece of cheese up there as well as this mug. And then here, this table, if it cooperates with me, it's got this letter there to a faction with the dragon on it. I believe that's what that is. And then here, if you pull on the sword, this secret compartment is revealed where there are some coins being stored there. So the idea here, I believe, is that the tax collector has hidden that inside of the wall, and then the crook is trying to break in either through the window there or just, walking through the inn, whatever, and finding the secret stash hidden inside of the wall. Now over here, this is interesting. I thought in the reveal that this sign was for the Watchtower. It's not. It is actually for the Shield Workshop, which doesn't have an official entrance. So that's kind of a letdown, I think. You do have a window looking in, but there is no entranceway. There's no secret passage here in the rocks or different things like that, which looks great. I think this looks nice with the arches, as well as you've got all of these, vines and different things growing here, some plants and the flowers, and of course this tree. You've even got this tree here, which has a little bird hidden inside there with the nest made from a beard, which is cute. And then you've got all these berries and different things there, and continuing through. Like, I love this red section. I think it looks very classic castle. Looks amazing. I love the angle that the chimney also goes on, how it goes up and then to the right and then back up. Again, the roof here looks amazing. I even love this bit here with the ingots and how there's a little bit of a gap there. The tower is amazing too. I didn't talk about this exterior bit, but I love the window gap there. That's amazing. Again, this feels like just a section and a chunk, a turret out of the Lion Knight Castle, like even down to this little detailing up here looks great. Like, look, you can even put a knight up here at the top of the turret. There's so much space there for you to be able to do that. Anyways, coming back down here to the Shield Workshop, you've got a blank shield there, which looks great. You've got a stove on, as well as here, if I knock that over, you could see there's some red paint or red dye on the pot. And you can see that there's all these spills and drips on the ground, which looks great. You've got this really cool little portrait in the back there of a king on a horse. You've got a candle. Again, you've got some white paint there, a paintbrush that's dripped on the floor, and then over here in the corner, you've got another blank shield, an anvil, a hammer, as well as another candle, and then some more, another hammer and a paintbrush there. You could also put the blue paintbrush there and have it dripping onto the floor. Anyways, working your way up the stairs here through this archway next to the torch, you gain access here to the turret, and you can see there's a little bit of a ladder leading up to this next bit, which doesn't have anything special going on besides a bat hanging upside down. But next to the ladder, you do have this door that leads into, I think that either this is a part of the Watchtower or it's just another room in the inn, however you want to pretend. But that door is way too small. I don't know why. This is the second set coming out on March 1st that has really small doorways like that. But anyways, when you close that up, you've got a sword there on the wall that's hung up. You've got a candle there in the back, as well as here we've got another letter being written there, this time to the Black Falcons, I believe, with that symbol. And then you've got as well a bed, which looks great. And I love just the red. So nice. Let's start with the goat, shall we? Probably the thing that some people are most excited for sure. Getting the goat back here. It is a brand new color in dark gray. You've got the tan horns there. And you can see underneath there what it looks like. That's not dual molded. That is just printed, I believe. There you could see a little bit of gray coming through. So yeah, still really awesome to be getting the goat back. And here's the kit. This is actually the only figure that doesn't have an official name attached to them, but I do like the torso, just the different ragged printing there, as well as on the back you can see there's a patch, really detailed torso. This new hat piece is actually new for March 2024. I believe it was probably designed for the dwarves from the Snow White Cottage, which we're going to be looking at soon here as well. But yeah, really cool new piece. You can see you've got this big smile on the front and then this shocked or maybe a singing expression on the other side. Here is the Crook. This is a really cool figure because the wolf pack is back here. This torso is going to make people go nuts for this set for sure. I wish that the hood piece actually matched the cape color, but you can see the torso looks great. You've got a bit of fur there. Comes with a crossbow. And then turning around the cape onto the other side, you could see the back torso printing is very detailed there with the different pouches to store all of the loot, I guess, that he is stealing because the set calls him a crook. Here is the Carpenter, and she looks amazing. I love the torso, really, really great. This hairpiece in tan is actually from the Viking village. Love the back torso printing there as well. And you could see on the back, she's got this other facial expression there too. So this is a really cool figure. Here is the Tax Collector, and this is really cool. I love this 2x2 tile there with the sticker, the knight riding the horse, as well as the book there with the T. Looks awesome. And just removing that there, you've got this little, I guess, a feather to write in the book. But I love the outfit in purple. Looks amazing. The cape in black, really, really great. The face, the beard, and all that looks amazing. You could see there's no second head print, unfortunately, there. But if I do lift up the cape to show you, you've got some really cool back torso printing there as well. Also included for him is this sack there to put coins in. Here's the Tapestry Weaver. I like the scissors there, as well as you've got this satchel. Removing the satchel, you get a better look there at the torso. Like, that's just so detailed, perfect for this medieval setting. So I believe this is the Shieldsmith, given the fact that she's got the paint palette and paintbrush. Love the little winking expression there that she's got, but the torso looks great. Again, the little pouch where the money is being stored, you could remove the hair, and you can see she's got this regular smile on the other side. The back torso printing is very detailed there too. Here is the Tower Guard. Really great. I love this figure a lot. The spear there is great. The helmet, when you remove it, you can see you've got this black mustache. Almost feels fake. Like when you remove the mustache, you could see underneath he's got this little patch underneath his face. He's got this really happy expression on one side and then this other expression there. I wonder if they chose that for a reason here. I'm now realizing the mustache piece is included so that you could have it covering up the mouth so that it looks like the guard has fallen asleep during his watch. And lastly here we have the innkeeper, which looks so cool. I love the piece here being used, the hood piece. I think that works well. Obviously the piece that was in the Lion Knight Castle and then from Harry Potter would have been a little cooler, but I still think this works really well. I love the torso printing a lot, and you can see that she's got this face there, a little bit older. No second face print there on the back. All right, we got to look at the instructions here for this because there's some special stuff featured inside. You can see as we flip through here that there's a little message here, a trip down a medieval lane. And you can pause and read here about the set. And you could see here, again, showing off some of the other images. Forgot to mention the village name of Felsa there. A day in the life of the village. And then you can see the original set that I've been talking about a couple times throughout this here from 2009. And then here is the designer, a little message from him. And then you're into the set. So this build here, this instruction booklet is for this part of the build. And then this one here is for the other. So you get 2 instructions in total. There you have it, everyone. That is my review of the medieval town square. I think that overall is a really fun build. I had a great time building this. I think that it pairs really well with the Lion Knight Castle. However, though, when it comes to the set, it feels like it is lacking. Some people have called it the medieval town square, putting the mid in medieval, MID. And I think that I agree in some aspects, like looking at some of the roof and looking at some of the details here and there. I'm like, yeah, I could have used a little bit more stuff. Like the animals, I think, is the biggest thing. Like you look at that 2009 set, it's like, look at all the animals here. And then you look, here's a carriage. Here's this big pen. And it's just empty. And it's like, something is missing here. And I think that you know, even looking at all the cheese variants, it's like, all that cheese isn't coming from the one poor goat, and you know, you can't really milk a cat either. You can watch Meet the Parents, really funny movie there. But anyways, I think when you look at that aspect of it, it's pretty disappointing. You could have had chickens to lay eggs, to, you know, make different pastries and things like that. I think would have been great to see as well. Some more figures in here obviously could have been added to justify the price that people are having a bit of a hard time with. But I think overall, there are some really cool building techniques and then some stuff that's left to be desired, I think. But anyways, what do you think of this set, though? I know that this is the set that some people are most looking forward to for March the 1st. So comment down below what you think of it. Cannot wait for more of these in the future. What's being called as vault sets. Let me know down below what sets you want to see them remake next. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.